Hey, hey, hey. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are so excited. We have Stacy here with us tonight. Amber was not feeling well. Stacy,
Hello.
Lynn, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. We have two Lyns in the house today.
Yep. Yep.
Is the other one going to join at some point?
Yeah, I'm sure he's watching upstairs.
Awesome. Well, we are so excited to be here tonight and so much to talk about. One of the big things we're talking about is MuskeCon. And Stacy, you guys are going to MuskeCon, right?
Yes, we are.
So
We are.
excited.
I cannot wait because last year we went and it was so much fun.
Really?
Uh, yeah. I mean, it's a blast. Um, so I can't wait. Like where Brian started like figuring out how he's going to pack the car up, and yeah, we're excited.
Well, we will be leaving out, I guess, Thursday, and headed to Muskegon. We're gonna stop right around halfway, and then fall into bed and get up the next morning and drive the rest of the way in. And of course, Michigan is a state that I have never been in, so I am so excited.
Gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. Now I really can't wait to see all the friends. I mean, I miss everybody since we're not in.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? We're all over
Yeah.
the country and we're not together. So when we can get together and I can hang out with friends, it's always a good time.
Yeah.
Um, we have some people in the chat, and would you like to?
Well, I can only see what I can see on my TV.
Okay, well,
But I know Curtis is in here. I
yeah,
saw Michael Morales.
yeah.
Um, the other Lynn, Jeff,
Brian,
Jeff Evans, Darla, a super chat from Curtis for
we have
Kevin.
super
Hi,
chat.
honey.
Hi, honey.
At Collectible Fun, and I think there was someone else up there that I missed, but I can't go back and look at it.
That's okay. That was Kevin. You got
Oh
everybody.
yeah, and Kevin's there.
Yeah, yeah. Kevin's here.
Kevin's here.
We are so excited. Today we are talking with another amazing couple. Um, and we are going to have some fun. Of course, we have to do some news first. So let's bring on Dusty, and I think Ange is coming, just not quite there yet. So let's bring Dusty in. Hey, Dusty,
Hey guys,
how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yay! So Ange is around. At least she's at the house.
Yeah, she just walked in the door right before you guys went live, so she's trying to get herself together so she can come on. So
Yeah,
she'll be here. It'll just take her a minute.
that's fine. We will start with the news, and that gives her plenty of time to put her stuff down and get herself together. I know that it's uh, Brian said, "Bring on the marinara."
That's a 2024 MuskeCon joke.
Brian also said she's got to fix her face.
Oh yeah. So Curtis Ackerman with a 4.99 super chat. I know you are new, Stacy, but we typically throw in some excitement into the super chats. Is that good, Curtis?
Oh,
And I'm trying to like my TV's over this way, so I should have set this up a little bit better.
yeah.
So I'm trying to look up here and look here at the same time. So it's like, and then that's on a delay.
Girl, I have the worst trouble trying to keep it all.
Yeah, I think we need our laptop sucks, so I think I need a better laptop and a good setup because this phone, like, I could barely see anything. So I'm like,
Right. Oh, and
I
Curtis.
like Stacy's shirt.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, looky there. I don't have one. I'm sorry.
It's like in 3D. It's like it's jumping off the screen.
Yeah.
that happens with my shirts usually.
Curtis said, "Killed it, Stacy." Brian, she even threw in some jazz hands for it.
I had to throw an extra excitement.
Woohoo! We're so excited. All right. Curtis, thank you for the super chats. Greatly appreciate you. All right. News. We have some great news coming. Let's start with the small stuff. We got
so
a new
good.
Yeah,
So good.
we got a new barbarian. I am so excited. Okay, so let me go back. Amber and Ryan were very lovely and picked this up for Kevin and I, so we've actually had it in hand from ZoloCon. But I am excited to get to MuskeCon because it is a great figure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, Brian had someone pick it up for him too.
I'll just be grabbing mine at MuskeCon.
Yeah. Well, we are very, very, very lucky that we had friends that were at ZoloCon. Otherwise, we would be grabbing it at MuskeCon as well. But it is amazing. Like I love it. I think it is such a great figure.
And everybody I've talked to said the pictures don't do it justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice figure. It really is. And I like how Kevin said technically you need at least 4.
I mean, that's true.
That's true. Yeah. That is true. All right. Graveyard skeletons have shipped from the company. And then they have shipped from a lot of the retailers. I have a local retailer and stopped by to pick mine up, but they closed right before I got there.
Oh, no.
I haven't had another chance to run by and grab mine. But I will. I'll grab it this weekend. And I'm super excited to get these in hand. I think these are going to be awesome.
Yeah, they're going to be fun.
Yeah, of course. I am so excited. We ordered a set from Wolf King and we ordered the painted set. So I know Jesse is working hard on those to get them out. So we were, so I'm excited. Rob Zamora, hey, how are you guys? And Trevor, did somebody like the page so you could see that we were? Oh, we love having you here, Trevor. And that's awesome. Okay.
Has Trevor decided whether or not he's coming to MuskeCon this year?
I don't know. Trevor, are you coming to MuskeCon?
He's riding the fence.
Tanya and Kevin are going to be there if that pushes you over the edge.
This will be your guys' first MuskeCon, right, Tanya?
Yeah, this is our first time in Michigan.
Oh, you're gonna have such a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
They have great cheese sticks.
Yeah, Trevor
right,
said
Dusty?
he can't make it this year.
Oh, bummer.
But Trevor, did I just see that you are going to be at Toylanta? Because if I don't see you for MuskeCon, I'll see you at Toylanta. Rob, we ordered 2 too. I ordered one locally, and then we ordered one from Wolf King so that we could get the painted heads from Jesse, because Jesse was going to do the painted heads for these. So I'm excited to get those. Okay. And Brian said, and fish and chips were good as well. Another little bit of news is the ATL 25, which is going to be great figure that is going to be available at Toylanta the weekend after MuskeCon.
There she is.
Yay!
Before you sit down, show the shirt. Show the shirt.
Oh, hang on. Let me. Oh.
He got me that for my birthday.
That's awesome.
How are you guys doing?
Doing good. We are excited to have you
You got the
here.
bouncy
I'm so
seat.
excited. I got the bouncy seat.
Woohoo!
Oh. Oh.
I'm a smart man and I do things on purpose.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Hey, that's not a middle finger.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Well, Benny, we are so glad that you could jump in real quick, and we will look forward to seeing you on here tonight, or thank you for catching the rerun. And Trevor says he will be in Toylanta, Celebration in Japan, San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, and Legions Con. Whew.
Well, hello,
Oh.
Mr. Fancy Pants.
Jack.
Right.
What's
Curtis.
up, Ackermans?
Brian, mental note, get bouncy seat.
Yes. Always get the bouncy seat. Oh.
You guys are more fun than a barrel of monkeys. Okay, let's talk big news.
That's my baby.
I just cannot wait.
I know.
So
So
Cannot.
beautiful.
It's going to be a long year and a half.
It is
Mhm.
going to be a long year and a half. Well, and it's going to be a long 3 more weeks until we get her funded and ready to go.
Oh, it's getting funded. It has to.
Yeah.
Did they say, is she male or female?
It's
Yeah.
whatever you want it to be.
It's a they.
It's a dragon.
To me, it's a she.
She.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
She's
think
beautiful.
she's beautiful.
She's gorgeous. All right. $550 for the dragon. $2,000 to get it made.
Psh, that's nothing.
$2,500 for the Sir Bear, what is his name?
Vinegar.
Vinegar. Thank you. $3,000 for all of his accessories. $3,500 for the skeleton.
The ashen skeleton, yeah.
$4,000 for all of his accessories.
That's correct.
So we gotta
Not
get
y'all.
at least 4,000.
Yep, 4,000 units sold. We'll get it all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is so amazing. Really,
We're on track for that. I think this morning's update, we were almost at 1,100
Yeah.
units
Yeah.
sold. So that we're more than halfway there to getting the dragon funded.
Yeah, and it's only been a week.
Yeah, and it's only been a week, and we're right on track. 1 week, 1,000 plus. You get to 4 weeks, hopefully we'll be at 4,000 plus.
yeah. I really like the breakdown of this view because it shows you all the different things that you get if we hit the 3,000 mark. I really like this. Now, the pauldrons and the head and the helmeted head are not going to be made again for another figure.
That's
They
correct.
are exclusive to this figure.
Yep. If the dragon doesn't get made, this figure doesn't get made.
I know, guys. We gotta have it. We gotta have it. And then, of course, the skeleton. Again, I love this layout. Lets you see everything that's going to come with it. If we get it funded to 4,000, Kirby, hello. J-Mac, hello. And Bill, hello. Welcome. Yes, happy Dragon Month. Let's get a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited. Okay. Fiery breath. So you get the head the neck, the breath and the ring of fire,
And the tongue.
and the tongue, and the figure. You get the figure as well for $150.
That's correct.
That figure is amazing. I love that.
I know. This is like the one that you weren't expecting, but you have to have. I mean,
Yep, that's my sleeper hit. I love the dragon, but I'm almost as excited to get this figure.
Yeah, I am too. So then you get all the accessories with this figure if we hit $1,250, and I don't think that's going to be a problem. We are.
Oh no, I don't think
Seven.
that's
How many?
at all.
We are at 757 something for this. I mean, we're almost 3/4.
Yeah, that figure right there on the to only be able to get this figure in this with the dragon,
right.
And that figure being that cool, that is going to be a very hard to find high dollar figure on the secondary market.
Yeah, I agree. Also, if you didn't get the dragon, you just wanted the head, like I've heard some amazing ideas for dioramas where that head is coming out of something, so it looks like maybe there's a dragon back in there.
I already have plans for that. I already have plans for that. You could do it.
Awesome.
You could do it coming out of a cave. You could have it coming out of the water. You could have it sticking its head out of the clouds.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's so many possibilities.
Oh, you could throw it on the front of a like Mad Max vehicle for cosmics. I mean, you could do a lot of things with that.
Have it coming running out of our ex's houses.
Oh, funny. And then of course you get the whole thing if it hits $1,250. I don't think we're gonna have a problem with this one. It's already what, 3/4 there?
Oh yeah, that's
3/4 to the 1,000 that we need. And
the only way we're not getting what you see on your screen right now is if the dragon doesn't fund.
Right.
And I just do not see that happening.
Yeah, I don't either. I think it's going to be amazing. Then the extra epic wings add-on set for $150. And the charged
zombie.
Yeah, that's a great one as well. Yep. This one isn't going up quite as fast as the other one. But we're still about halfway. Are we halfway on this one yet, or are we just under?
We're getting there, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say it like this. I was on the fence about this as well, because do you really need those open wings as big as the dragon Baethyr's actual wings that he comes with?
Right.
Is there that much of a difference to justify the extra expense of this pack plus the shipping, all that? And I just said, you know what? If I'm spending $550 on a dragon, I'm going all the way. I'm getting everything, because it's better to have it and not need it for anything than to, man, I really wish I had those wings and not have them.
Right. Well,
and there's not going to be another chance. So
yeah, Kevin said if you have a shelf that's up against the wall and you want to display like this wing, like he's getting ready to take off, or just how big that wing is, he said the one against the wall, put it the small one, and then put this one like out over your,
right,
out over it. He said, and that's going to look fantastic. I mean, not that we weren't going to get it, because I'm going to get it. I mean, I knew that way back when they first announced it, but Kevin talking about having one of each wing displayed, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that could work. Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
and I was actually thinking, have the dragon set on a table with his tail wrapped around himself, and then have him like facing straight on instead of sideways, have him facing straight on with those wings out behind him, flared out, to just make him wider.
Yeah.
From the front instead of from the side, and have him taller.
Yeah.
Turn him the other way, and then you'd have that wingspan, way out
We get it. We get it. We
Oh,
get
yeah,
way,
yeah,
way
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Way, way,
Love it, love it, love it. So, but yes, I am so excited about this one. Of course, if this hits 1,000, we get that. But if it hits the 1,200, we get all of the extra accessories with that one as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a sweet setup right there. I mean, just look at the smoke damage on that shield,
Yeah,
and it's just that's going to be a great dial piece right there.
it is. Just they always go above and beyond with what they give us.
The paint on some of this stuff, you just don't even realize what you're looking at.
Right.
The work that goes into what you're looking at. But, you know, having drawn a lot of this stuff myself and really getting into those details and stuff, I mean, just look at the smoke damage on the blade of that sword.
Yeah.
If you was to set that out on a dio on some grass or something and take a picture of it, you couldn't tell that was plastic.
Right.
It would look like a smoke damaged sword.
Yeah.
1-to-1 scale. And it's just the paint quality on these figures is amazing.
I agree. Yeah.
Everything was well thought out.
It really, yeah. Kevin said, our only question is how many are we getting? And that's the truth. We still haven't decided how many yet. I mean, one for sure, but I'm not sure if I'm getting another one or not.
I think our order was one dragon, one set of wings, and 2 of the flame sets.
Yeah, so we need to get another one so he has somebody to play with.
Well, I'll let you order that one.
Yeah. The pictures that this was a great representation. I think Jeremy showed it last night on his show, how big those boxes were. I mean, when you see those boxes next to actual figures and figure boxes, I mean, it's crazy how big.
Yeah, it's insane.
Right.
It's insane to think. I mean, yeah, you expect the wings box to be kind of big, but you know, you really don't think about that flame set needing a box that big.
Right.
But then you got to remember the head of that dragon is like the size of my hand.
Right.
You know, and then you add the neck on it.
Stretched out neck, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's going to take a pretty long box to put that.
These photos here that Jeremy shared really brought home to me how big that thing is going to be.
No.
Sherry said that anyone that gets one to paint is going to have a blast. She says it takes dry brushing like nothing she's ever painted.
I imagine.
Oh wow,
Curtis, that's
all the bridges and lines.
Each scale.
Yeah.
Let's just take a minute to appreciate the detail of that sculpt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every scale, every nook, every cranny, the bottoms of the feet.
Yeah. Every part of it is gorgeous. Sherry did such a great job. One of the other things that they announced is local pickup will be available. People are trying to figure out if they can rent a truck and go up there and pick it up, and if it would be cheaper to rent a truck and go up there and pick it up.
You get enough people together that it would absolutely
you
be
do like a regional haul. You go get, you know, 20, 30 of them. You bring them back, drop them off everywhere.
You know, we're in southern Indiana, and Bayathere, the one set of wings, 2 fire sets, like I said, just shipping from New Jersey to southern Indiana, almost $170.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's a bunch.
And I'm not complaining. I fully expected that.
We can stop for a Philly cheesesteak.
Well, I've already paid for shipping, so now it's too
All right. Yeah, I'd say ours was, I think, 86 for we just got one of each. And I think ours was 86 for the FedEx. I think it was like 300 something if we did USPS, but we did the FedEx.
Well, Kevin and I were also talking, you know, would it be worth it? It's going to be what, don't know, it's 6-7 hour drive for us to get up there, maybe 5-6 hours. So, you're looking at a 14-hour drive to get up there, get it, and get home total.
But that's not going to happen. You're going to get up there. You're going to run into 10 other people that are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to all go out to dinner.
Right.
You're going to make a weekend out of it, or it ain't worth doing.
Yeah. So I don't know. Again, thoughts. We are trying to figure out what we're going to do. We got to figure it out real soon because we got to get that order placed. But we don't want to do it until we know how many we're getting and all the stuff.
So if you were to get multiples, what would be your reasoning behind getting multiples? Are you thinking about painting one?
I honestly don't know if I could put paint on it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't. It's so perfect already. I can't imagine.
For me to put paint on a figure that costs $550, I'm assured that I would have a heart attack. Like,
right.
It's like painting a mustache on the Mona Lisa.
I don't care how good you are. If you're painting a $550 figure, I don't think you could ever do it good enough. I don't know if I'd ever be happy with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can.
Challenge accepted.
But
Curtis is definitely going to paint one.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see what he does.
Now him, I would trust to do something like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Have you seen what that guy does? Just kidding, Curtis. I love you.
Oh, that's funny. But it would be, to me, it is perfect the way that it is.
Mm-hmm.
My thought process behind getting an extra one is, can you really just have one?
That's what I said. They need a friend.
You got to remember, this is the pillar of the West.
I know.
There's 4 other pillars out there.
I know.
Going to be more dragons? Are they going to be Chinese dragons? Are they going to be giants?
Kevin said he was going to make a belt buckle out of the head.
Oh my.
That'd be like one of the championship bull riding belt buckles. That thing would be huge.
Oh my God. Giddy up, Bobo. Kevin, that was funny. Gave me a heart attack, but that was funny.
Kevin's gonna like bronze it with a big old leather belt with like scales on it. Be wicked. It'd be wicked. Now I want a belt buckle.
Dang it. But I think that it's going to be I think that there is, I think there are also going to be people that can't get one right now that are going to want one in a couple of years.
The flipper mindset.
Well, and it's not just that. I want it for me.
Right.
But I also think I have that other thought that there's going to be somebody that's going to come in and say, I want one. The other thing is, Jeremy said, I think last night, if I'm not mistaken, hey, action figure girl, what's up? What's going on? I think that he said that they would not waste the tooling, so we might get another one in a different color.
I can see that.
Oh, I could absolutely see that.
Mm-hmm.
I could see.
So if we were going to get another one in a different color, I don't know that I would want to, because I would want the other one in the new color,
Right.
So I don't know.
It'll be interesting, really, to see what the Horsemen do decide to do, because if this one just barely funds, then does that change what they do with the next one?
I think it will.
I don't think they'll ever use this mold again.
No.
Even if they do make another dragon, I don't think it will be the Beathir recolored.
Right.
I don't think that's going to happen. So if you want this dragon in another color, I would say paint it.
Yeah.
Because I do not see the Horseman just doing a 1-to-1 recolor of this again, especially if it barely funds.
Right.
Yeah.
But if it blows out of the water on that final weekend, which is what most
Kickstarters do, yeah.
Kickstarters are funded. What happens most of the time is people wait until the very last weekend and then they go crazy. And let's say last weekend,
fear of missing out sets in.
Yeah, they all get, we get 5,000-6,000, orders for this. Are they going to do another color?
I just don't think they will. I think that would kind of, even thinking that they could just do this dragon again and recolor it with, if you listen to some of what Jeremy has said about the expense, the unexpected expense of making this figure.
Right.
I don't see them doing a recolor of the same thing. I just don't. And it kind of kills the whole crowd fund thing if they're just going to turn around in 2 years and make another one into different color.
One like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see the Horseman doing that, but you never say never.
Never say never. We have no idea, but I am looking forward to getting this one. Whether or not I'll get a second one, something that Curtis just said, and he is so correct in this. When you do a full repaint on any of Treadaway's sculpts, you get to know it in a much more intimate way, and
absolutely
100% agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Try drawing. What he sculpts.
Yeah, that would be. I think that would be the same. Yeah.
You notice a lot of things that you just don't normally pick up on.
Right.
Every gauntlet has a little leather strap with a little belt buckle.
Yeah.
That tightens it down. The chainmail in the shoulders and in the elbows. And
trust me,
it is insane what Treadaway pulls off in these figures.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. All right, let's okay, this is what I pulled from what they put out this morning. So the Fiery Breath is at around just at 750, just under 750, so almost 3/4. The Dragon is just over 1,000, so it's half funded.
In 1 week, we still got 3 weeks to go.
Yep.
And then the wings are half funded as well, just a little over half funded as well.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean,
there is a new graphic out that has this, but then they went in and put like at the 2,000 mark, if they're funded.
Right. Yeah.
At 2,500, and it shows you exactly, where you're at.
Alberta, I have a HasLab Galactus I'll trade for an extra dragon.
Good luck.
I know. Yeah. Okay. So, yes, we are so excited about the dragon.
Yay, dragons.
So, whose is the dragon going to be? Is it going to be Dusty's or is it going to be Angel? Okay. Yeah.
I'm the one that's going to have to feed it and let it out.
Just like all the other animals.
I'm right there with you, Ange. It's mine. I'm going to have to feed it, let it out.
She claimed the dog. She gets to let it out. She gets to feed it. She claims the dragon. She gets to let it out. She gets to feed it. Of course, I'll have to clean it.
Now we'll know whose it is when it comes in and it breathes fire on one of us. So if it breathes fire on you, it's yours.
No. Should it be the opposite? If it breathes fire on me?
He's catching on.
Oh, right.
Stacey's like, yeah.
So yeah, Mythic Dolphin, and I think Dusty said this earlier. It's at 11:07 as of this morning.
That's correct.
Okay,
keep it going, guys.
More than halfway.
Yeah, let's do it.
More than halfway in 1 week.
Tomorrow's payday, everybody. Let's go.
Yep, get your dragons ordered. What are you waiting on?
Push your rent out another month. It'll be all right.
Yeah,
you'll be fine. They won't take your house after 1 month.
You need groceries.
You could literally push one light bill, order your dragon, And then when the dragon comes in, you could catch up on your light bill.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
It's a good season to do that. Just open your windows, turn everything off. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start some questions. We got lots of questions.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
boy.
All about you guys. So Dusty, where did you grow
Yes.
up?
Southern Indiana, a little town called Charlestown.
Okay.
Charlestown, Indiana.
Ange, where did you grow up?
These sound like password
questions.
security password.
They're trying to decode our login information. They're going to order a dragon on our
I'm not.
So I grew up just outside of Charlestown at first, and then I moved to Charlestown in the 3rd grade. So
Okay.
we were actually in school together the whole time. Just
So she says. I
2
don't
years
remember
apart. He doesn't remember me because no
Awesome.
one remembers me.
Aw.
But yeah. So he was 2 grades above me. He's an
So
older man.
Kevin and
I was the youngest person in my grade. I graduated at 17.
Here we go.
We're only a year apart.
Kevin and I started school together in 3rd grade, and we
That's
were
awesome.
both in 3rd grade and graduated together and knew each other like we're friends all the way up.
That's awesome.
Aw.
I don't think I still don't think Stacy knows who Brian is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. He's such a celebrity right now. I just,
Oh,
Oh,
I just don't know what to do.
Local
Does
news
he
blew
fit
my head up, I guess.
Yeah.
how does he fit
I mean, he
that
already had a
head
big
in the
head.
door?
Will it fit in a dragon box? That's all I want to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Good question. Good question.
Excuse me, Brian, but your question is after your recent stint on local news, will your head now fit in a dragon box?
Oh, that's funny. Stacy's still more popular than Brian is.
Imagine how I feel.
He's still in The Wife is more popular than I am.
I
Yeah.
am too.
Bruce
Yes.
just keeps growing and growing.
I couldn't even come on this show by myself. I had to bring her.
Well, yeah, that's right. Because we love Ange.
Yeah.
We love you all too. Love.
What is one of your favorite? Well, since you guys grew up in the same town, maybe both of you, what is one of your favorite things about the town that you grew up in?
Leaving it.
Yeah.
Not being in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, in the last, I went to Florida for almost 20 years because it's a small town. So
Small town drama.
small town drama and all that stuff. And I said, you know what? I want to see what the rest of the world looks like. So I left, moved away, and then I just moved back 7 years ago. And the difference in the atmosphere and the environment in the culture of the town is so vastly different.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's turned into one of those little towns that you want to settle down and raise a family. At Christmas, they have the cutest, most adorable Hallmark type situation going on.
We have the largest Christmas display of lights in the state of Indiana
Mm-hmm.
that we know of, and probably bigger than a lot of other states as well.
And it's just so cute. Everybody comes down, it's like Whoville. Everybody comes down to watch the Christmas tree light up, and all the lights around town light up. There's a little Christmas train that goes through. It's just really cute and sweet.
The town we grew up in, there's an Army ammunition plant that basically built this town.
Right.
And that ammunition plant closed not long after the Vietnam War. So a lot of the people that worked in that plant got stuck here. And once everybody lost their jobs there, it became one of those towns, kind of like what you would think of as like a coal mining town when the coal mine closes.
A lot of inbreeding.
Right.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
Oh my
But
goodness.
it was a lot of people that were just barely scratching by and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. Well, in the past 10 years or so, the government has like donated all that land, and we're talking thousands of acres of land right on the riverfront.
Oh, wow.
And it's becoming one of the biggest industrial parks in the country.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're about ready to build a Meta server farm. It'll be open in a couple years. There's a couple breweries there. Amazon's there now.
Mm-hmm.
So the town that we grew up in is exploding.
Right.
You know, home ownership's exploding. The property values are exploding. So it's, you know, it's going to be a whole different town in 10 years.
But it still has that charm.
Yeah.
You know, that little small town feel. It's just the immediate outskirts are just booming with housing.
All that farmland
and
is now houses.
commercial, you know, lots of manufacturing and production, logistics, solar, all that stuff. But it's really cute. It's really cute. So we kind of live on the northern side of that, where we're just close enough to town to where if we need something, it's 5 minutes away, but still far enough out to where we walk outside. There's no light pollution. We can see every star in the sky.
Aww.
You know, it's quiet for the most part. You know, when I first moved in with him, he was still leaving his doors unlocked. Like that's the kind of area you're
Well, I mean, who's
about.
going to break into my house?
Methods.
It wouldn't last long.
So, you know, and I come from a part of Florida where it's like, you know, if you hear a pop,
It's Florida.
it's either going to be fireworks or guns,
Right.
but most likely it's guns. So it's like, I'm used to just keeping my doors locked, everything locked, car door locked. And he's just like, everybody come inside. And I'm like, no. Oh my God.
Come on in, get yourself something cold to drink.
Oh, they'll get themselves be going through my underwear drawer.
How'd you find out about that?
Again?
Oh, that's
So yeah.
hilarious.
So it's nice. We love where we live.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, got another $1.99 from.
Let me read this for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
got it.
Man, that fancy marinara sounds so good right now. It's artesian, Curtis.
You said it wrong. It's marinara, man.
Marinara.
It's freaking marinara.
Yeah.
Artesian.
Poor Katie.
Dusty, did
He and
you-
I are never going to live that down.
Oh.
Dusty, did you collect anything as a kid?
I did. I was real big into Transformers, Legos. I ended up, you know, when I hit my teenage years and quit worrying about toys and stuff, I ended up giving 90% of all my toys and stuff to my lesser fortunate nephew. And, but I held on to a few things like a couple of Transformers, a couple of mass vehicles, stuff like that. But, you know, once I got older and started working and had my own kids, you know, when my son was little, I was like, oh, I got to buy him, you know, the stuff I grew up on. I got to get him the DVDs of the stuff I grew up on.
Right.
So through him, I started buying, you know, vintage stuff for him, but technically for me. And then, you know, I took, like, when the pandemic hit, I had acquired quite a bit of like vintage 80s toys, you know, because when I first started buying that stuff, we're talking about 98, 99, 2000. And I acquired a lot of stuff over those years. And when the pandemic hit, I decided it was time to take advantage of those high prices. And I sold a lot of vintage stuff, but I didn't just pocket the money. I reinvested that. And so instead of vintage Transformers, I'd sell like a vintage Jazz, and then I would use that money and buy a Masterpiece Jazz. Mm-hmm. So I just upgraded my collection from vintage stuff to Masterpiece. And then when I pretty much got everything I wanted in Masterpiece, I went out and was looking for that next fix. And that's when I found Legions.
Oh, awesome.
And that's basically taken over my collecting hobby since then. I don't buy much of anything else now.
Ange, did you like have any collecting when you were a kid? Any toys that you loved that you had to have all of them?
So I grew up around boys. So all my cousins were boys. Most of the kids in my neighborhoods, both places that I lived, boys. So my thing was always geared around whatever they were into, because they were having way more fun with their stuff than any of the girls that I knew playing with Barbies or strawberry shortcake or anything like that. And I'm like, ramping cars over bonfires? Yes. Mud? Yes. Ninja Turtles? Yes. Like all that was way more fun to me. So I was exposed to those things. So for me, like my prized possession growing up was the General Lee, the car from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
Because I used to watch that as a kid. I said I was going to drive one of those cars. I'm going to fly up in the air like that too. I'm going to run from the cops too. That sounds great. Only did that once. But that was the car. Like that just, I thought I had to have it. So my uncle one year, I think I was 5 or 6 for Christmas, surprised me with that. You know, Christmas tree at grandma's house, everybody opens up presents, everybody opens everything up. And I was like, oh, you know, strawberry shortcake, it's great. Oh, that smells good. And then my uncle's like, oh yeah, what's that back there behind the tree? And I looked and I knew immediately it was the box this size. And I knew that wasn't a Barbie. So I ran, I dove and grabbed it. And then there's a picture of me sitting on the floor opening it. And my face is just, I was so excited. So I held on to that and I didn't play with it. I would open up the hood because you couldn't open up the doors because they were welded shut.
That's right.
But the hood opened, and that's the only thing that I would do is just open and close. And I would do this, but I would never let anyone play with it. I didn't take it outside. I didn't put it in the dirt because I was so terrified of breaking it or destroying it or making it, you know, look bad. Well, when we moved from that town to Charlestown, little did I know that my mom decided to have a yard sale.
Oh, the story of all stories.
And I come home from school and I'm seeing all these things missing from the apartment. And she said, well, you know, I had a yard sale today, you know, make some money, get rid of some things before we move. And I was like, oh, okay. And I walk in my room and I see so many things out of place and boxes and blankets everywhere. And I go to my closet because that's where I kept it. And I look and it's gone. So I asked her, I said, Mommy, where's my General Lee? And she goes, well, honey, I sold it. Just very matter of factly. And I said, if I could have said what I wanted to say back then. And I just started just bawling. And I told her I hated her. I never wanted to see her, talk to her ever again. Aww. And she was like, why are you so upset? You never played with it. It's been in the closet for 2 years. And I said, because my Uncle Bud got me that car. And it's my favorite car. And so that was it. So I think I stuck to it. I didn't talk to her for like a week. I would just come in and just go straight to my room. And then I would smell, you know, dinner cooking. And I would walk out just quick enough to like grab my plate and go to my room. Like I gave her the cold treatment. And then fast forward to 4 years ago. It's my birthday.
Y'all get ready. Hero story.
Or no, it was Mother's Day.
Hero story.
And I open up the gift and it's the General Lee, the original in the box. He got it for me.
Wow.
She told me that story and I immediately started the hunt.
That's awesome.
I found the vintage, the original one in the box.
Oh, so this time I did play with it. So I immediately took it out. I was like, I don't care. I'm going to break the box. I'm going to smash the box. I don't care about the box. I get
That
the car
broke my
out.
heart.
Yeah.
That broke
As
my
the
heart.
collector, he's like, no.
Oh.
So I got it out. I took it out back, started running it around the driveway. And then I got my camera out and started taking all these, like, cute little photos of it, looking like it's real out in the driveway and all this stuff. It was adorable. So we had a little photo shoot. But now he's back in the box and he's up on the shelf.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. That's my toy.
That's your toy.
Mhm.
And she collected pops too, but nobody really claims those anymore.
Hey, Curtis says, and then she punished her mom by falling for a wrestler.
Yes. Yeah, my mom, she was like, why are you jumping off the couch and trying to, smash the table? And I was like, it's wrestling. The Ultimate Warrior's doing it. Why can't I do it?
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Were you guys into like things, fantasy, sci-fi, things that the Legions have put out? Were you into the movies or the shows or the whatever that as a kid growing up would have led you to Legions?
Oh, absolutely. I'm an '80s kid. I grew up watching, VCR movies. When we didn't even have a VCR, we would rent one.
Yeah.
And I remember riding my bicycle, like 2.5 miles to the video store to rent. And I would always rent whatever based on the cover. So like Conan, swords and sorcery. And I mean, I'd rent anything and everything I could get my hands on. Ninja stuff, But yeah, fantasy, in the '80s, that was in its prime. You had Dragon Magazine, you had D&D taking off, and it was Satan and all that, and Frazetta paintings, and then you had Conan hitting theaters, and it was just, oh, what a great time to be a kid, to be a boy.
Oh yeah, that was definitely your all's time.
Yeah, I watched anything and everything I could get my hands on. The Barbarian Twins, remember them guys?
No, I don't.
Ange, did you watch anything or anything fantasy related?
Probably not till Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, I was that kid that I was just always outside.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being outdoors and doing things, and we kind of grew up a little poor, so movies were not a big thing for us. If we went to a movie, it was a really big deal. It was a big treat.
Right.
And usually it was my grandparents taking us. Cable was not a luxury that we ever had. Renting movies was also not a big luxury until I got older and I was a teenager. By then I was driving, and so I wanted nothing to do with the TV. But TV, comedy, that was my thing.
Gotcha.
So if it was a comedy movie, that was it. If it was TV, I was always watching comedy shows. So, but any fantasy stuff I never got into. And I think a lot of that, stems from, I just hated reading. And a lot of the fantasy stuff was always based off of books. And it really wasn't popular, at least that I knew, in television or film until way later.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of started picking up on things. Obviously, Marvel kind of got me introduced. And then just in the later years, he made me watch Game of Thrones. He was like, I'm not going to talk to you if you don't watch Game of Thrones. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try.
It only took one episode and she was hooked.
That was it.
Oh man.
And he even made me film myself watching the Red Wedding episode because he wanted to see my reaction.
Oh,
She was still in Florida at that time.
wow.
So just let me know when you get to the Red Wedding episode. And I said, okay. So I told him, he said, all right, I need you to film yourself while you watch it.
We
I
were
said, well,
FaceTiming.
this is creepy as hell, but okay, fine. And so I did, or maybe we were FaceTiming. And so that's what it was. He was recording his own phone while we're on FaceTime.
So I could make fun of her.
Yeah. And I lost my shit. I was like, what in the is going on? It floored me. I was like, this is a nightmare. I was gasping. I was crying. I was in shock. I was like, this is nonsense. I'm never watching this show again. This is bullshit. And then I just kept watching. But yeah.
Meanwhile, she's a bigger fan of it than I am now. So
the very
Well, a lot of that's the dragon. Like, dragons are my thing. I love big, beefy, chunky dragons.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
the other dragons,
So the very first episode of Game of Thrones, my husband and I were watching it, and it got to, I don't know if it was the end. If I'm going to spoil it for anybody, if you don't want to hear this,
it was 12 years ago.
Turn the
Yeah,
volume
I feel
down
like it's been
way
spoiled.
low, because I am going to say something that may spoil it for somebody who has not seen it yet. If you want to not hear, turn it down now. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. When he pushes the kid out the window.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I looked at my husband and I said, okay, I'm done. And for years, I did not watch. I mean, we were in the, how many seasons were there? 7 seasons?
Seven, yeah.
7 or 8 seasons. So it was probably in its 7th season. And Kevin's like, Tanya, you really have to watch this. And I'm like, okay, because I already knew that he tossed the kid, so it wasn't that bad. But then we watched them like back to back to back to back to back and watched the whole thing all the way through. And there were so many cool things that happen in the first season that they talk about or reference later on. And you're like, if I had not seen it back to back to back to back to back the way that we did, I would have never been able to catch all of the little nuances that.
Oh, yeah.
The best way to watch it is to just binge it.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so that's my Game of Thrones story. Sorry, everybody. Thanks.
You can turn it back up.
Yeah, you can turn it back up. Turn it back up. Turn it back up.
This motion means nothing. When she did this, she was just saying, I don't like that.
She was hula.
Yeah.
We were talking about this. Now we're talking about this.
Yeah.
So you guys met in school, but then
Sort of.
No.
well,
I knew who he was in school. He does not remember me at all.
gotcha. So how did you guys you were in Florida, he was in India. How did you guys meet up again or start talking or get to know each other? Tell me the story of how
So
Dusty and Ange became Dusty and Ange.
we didn't really know each other in school. When we were probably 22-ish,
I was, 20,
21, 22, she was actually dating a friend of mine, and I was married and had just had my son, and she was dating a friend of mine, but we all, we went cruising together, went to car shows together.
Not on a boat, like cruising car.
Oh,
Yeah.
And, it was just, we were in each other's circle.
Right.
And I knew the type of person Angie was. Angie's actually the only person that my ex-wife and I ever trusted to babysit our son.
Oh, wow.
And that's an important part of the story because the night that she babysat our son, when we went out for our anniversary or something, she made a videotape of her playing with the baby. And so fast forward, her and my buddy break up. Me and my buddy quit being buddies. She's in Florida. Don't think nothing about each other for 18 years.
He sends me a friend request. I ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did that to me too, Ange.
Yeah.
She's bad. She's very bad about that. But when my son turned, he was a senior in high school, I started getting that daddy pity
Nostalgia
thing going. because it was just me and him and my daughter. My daughter split her time between me and her mother. But my son was always with me. And he was getting ready to graduate high school. And I started pulling out old videotapes of him when he was a baby to show my daughter because she had never seen him. And, you know, we were like nostalgic because he was getting ready to graduate high school, you know. So we went through these tapes and I found one that I didn't recognize the writing on it because every other tape had my writing on it. And I was like, what tape is this? And it just said Christian. So I popped it in and it was a videotape of Christian in his car seat. I mean, he's probably not even a year old, 6 months, 8 months old. And I'm like, who has my child? Where is my child? What house is he in? So my daughter and I start like deciphering who this person is that has my baby.
Because he could hear someone talking on it.
Yeah, she's playing with him and talking to him, but she's not on the tape. It's just the baby.
Ah.
And then it popped back, and I was like, hell, that's Angie, you know. And I was like, she'll get a kick out of this, you know, because my son was 18. He's as big as I am, has a beard bigger than mine when he graduated high school. I was like, I'm going to send her this video and then send her a picture of Christian, you know, to say, can you believe this shit, you know?
Right.
And so we weren't friends on Facebook or anything, but we had a mutual friend that was in our same circle back in the day. And I sent all that to him. I was like, dude, are you still friends with Angie? He's like, yeah. I was like, send her this tape of her with Christian. He's like, is that really her? I said, I think it is. And he sent it to her, and then she started stalking me on Facebook. She's in Florida. I'm still here.
Yeah, Anthony was like, hey, Dusty wanted me to send this to you. Said you might get a kick out of it. And so I was like, send me what? And so I'm like, I hope this is not some spammy bullshit. So I open it up, and I was like, who the baby is this? I'm like, why is he sending me somebody's baby video? And then all of a sudden I start looking at it. I'm like, I kind of recognize that baby. And then I hear my own voice on it. And I'm like, is that me? Wait, what? I was like, is that his baby? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember doing this. And then, so I went to his, you know, obviously his profile picture. And I was like, oh, how you doing? And then I was like, I'm just going to peruse the face, you know, and see what's going on. Oh, there's no female in this picture. Oh, there's no wife. Oh, what's going on here? And I'm like, interesting. So I messaged him after I'd already stalked a little bit. Then I messaged and I was like, you know, hey, how are you? I can't believe Christian's, you know, this old now, and that's crazy. And then that was it. It was just nonstop communication for the next 6 months. And then about 3 months in, the flirtation began. Because I kept saying that I wanted to find me a country boy, you know, and like start a goat farm and all this stuff. And he was like, well, I got 3 acres of land. And I was like, yeah, but do you have a
pictures
truck?
of my lawnmower, sent her pictures of my truck.
Yeah, this is his flirtation. You know, not sending me flowers or anything. He's
sexy.
sending me,
Oh, I did that too.
Look
I
what
did
I
that
have.
too.
Look what I have. Look at all.
Look what I got going on.
So, and then that was it. And I had already planned. My plan was to move back to Indiana anyway, because my mother's health was going downhill. My grandfather's health was going downhill. And it was already kind of part of my plan. So I wanted to kind of test the waters. So I said, you know what? I said, why don't you come to Florida? Why don't you drive down here and hang out with me for a weekend and, you know, just kind of hang out. And he's like, I ain't driving all the way to Florida.
I'd never been to Florida. I'd never been further than Tennessee.
Oh,
So he was, and he definitely wasn't going to fly because he's terrified of heights. So I said,
Not happening.
I said, you come on down to Florida, get away, have a vacation. And so he was terrified. So what I did was I made a copy of my house key and I mailed it to him. And I was like, here you go. This is how serious I am. Because he was terrified. He's like, I'm going to get down there. She ain't even going to live at this house.
I had
It's
this
not
girl
even
on the
gonna be
hook
her.
so hard, she sent me the key to her apartment in the mail.
My house.
Or your house, yeah.
So he came down, and it took him almost 14 hours. It was a 14-hour drive.
14 and a
And
half
he kept
hours.
checking in with me, you know, throughout the trip, saying, this is where I'm at and all this stuff. And so he was worried that he would pull up in my driveway and I wouldn't open up the door.
Well, he
So
had the key.
then-
It didn't
Yeah.
matter if you opened the door.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's still, you know, he's
Yeah.
nervous. And so, and this is what he also did. He told me later. He actually stopped at the exit before mine just to get his shit together because he was so nervous.
Oh,
Yep.
And then once he got himself together, then he drove another mile to my exit.
And I literally went down there with just enough money to get down there in gas and to get home in gas. And if she hadn't opened that door, I was going to have to figure out
He's got to
where I was going to sleep in my car on my way home.
yeah.
You know,
So,
so
here
I was nervous about it.
Oh,
So it's like right around 7:15 at night. And it was in September, so you know, it's still plenty light outside. So I see him pull in the driveway, and I still get chills thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I knew my face was red because whenever I get nervous, my face gets red. So I watch him, and he's not getting out of his car for a minute. And I'm like, what is he doing? So he finally gets out of his car. And as soon as he got out and stood up, I just knew. I was like, that's the man I'm going to marry. That's the man that I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. And he wasn't even at the door yet.
Oh.
So when I opened up the door, I let him in, and I just grabbed a hold of him. And that was it. We've been inseparable ever since.
That was in September, and on Christmas Eve that same year, she showed up in the driveway with a U-Haul truck.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Oh, how sweet.
And I told her not today, and I made her drive back to Florida. Ain't nobody got time for all that.
I was like, well, you better let me in because I got an angry cat in this truck. My poor cat. I had this big fat orange tabby cat. He was riding in the cab the whole time in between a crate, and then every now and then I'd let him out of the crate, and he was pissed. Pissed. So I was like, you're going to let me in this house real quick.
Yeah, it's funny too because we always talk. It's like we got together back then, and we've never been apart.
Yeah,
it just
25 years ago.
It just felt like we'd always been together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a sweet story. That is awesome.
Isn't that like some Hallmark shit?
I know. We need to make a movie or something. I think we're going to make some money.
Yeah.
Get us some money.
Get some
I know. So it looks like we've had a couple of people join us. Jimmy, hey, how's it going? William, I don't know what the word is for a bunch of dragons, but I think I might need to find out.
To murder.
Yeah.
To
Oh, is it a
murder
murder?
dragons.
Okay.
Gaggle.
Yeah. And then,
flock.
hey,
Of
Terrence,
course you'd
how's
say
it
gaggle,
going?
Stacy.
And G, hello, how are you? And Kevin said, wait, Dusty didn't send you the pics of his Transformers?
Oh.
Damn, I could have done that. We'd have gotten together so much faster.
Oh, that's funny. Santos, how are you doing? Oh my goodness, that was funny. All right. What do you guys do? Like, what are your jobs? What do you do?
Oh God.
I'm a lead at the town we grew up in. I work for that government now. I'm the lead of the sanitation department. I always wanted to be a truck driver because my dad was a truck driver. My older brother was a truck driver. I became a truck driver, but I had a baby.
Yeah.
So over the road truck driving was not a thing for me. So I spent almost 20 years working for a local, well, I say local, it was like an hour away, oil company.
That's local.
Where I delivered oil for ExxonMobil.
Right.
55-gallon drums of antifreeze and oil and, you know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got this big. It was 18 years of moving 400 and 600 pound barrels all day, every day. And then
You shouldn't talk about people like that.
right. and then I got lucky. I got lucky and got on with the local city, you know, just 5 minutes down the road. And I started driving trucks for them, driving what they call lightning loaders. Like I was picking up like brush and stuff like that with like basically a claw truck. And then I got into the sanitation department and then ended up being their lead. So that's what I do now. I'm the lead of the sanitation department in the city of Charlestown.
Oh, cool.
Me, oof. I am an HR director for a local drug and rehab facility. Gotcha. So I manage 120 employees.
100 plus patients.
Yes. So it's a lot mentally. I mean, that's why I was late today. Just because you never know what each day is going to be like.
Right.
And I'm responsible for a lot, and I don't have an assistant or anybody to help me, so everything's on me.
That's why she doesn't get to paint as much as she would probably like to.
No, because by the time I get home, you know, even on the days that I get home on time or early in my book, I'm so mentally exhausted and peopled out and just drained. Right. So when I come home, I just want to lay down and just stare at the wall.
She'll literally go in the bedroom, close the door, and just decompress for like an hour.
Yeah.
I hate everybody.
She might get home at 4:30.
Fire everybody. I'm getting home. I'm like, tell me about your business because I'm gonna fire all your people for you. Like, let's fire everybody. Everybody's getting fired today. So it's just, you know, it's really high level stress. And so, you know, and then on the weekends, you know, because I decompress for hours by the time I get home during the weekday, when the weekend hits, it's laundry time, grocery time, clean the house time, you time, you know, us time. And next thing I know, it's Monday again. Right. So, you know, finding time to do anything on my own is really hard. And because we do kind of live far away from, because even though we live close to our town doesn't have like the big major hardware stores or a Walmart or anything like that.
Yeah,
so
we have to
drive 45 minutes
to get to anything like that.
To do like real shopping,
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
So if we wait until the weekend to do that, that's basically half our day gone.
Yeah.
Just going to town, doing all of our shopping and all the places we have to do, gas up, get home, unload everything. So it takes up a lot of time. So finding time to do anything that I actually want to do, it's impossible.
So if you've got one of Angie's customs, there are not going to be very many of those.
Curtis said, I love having one of Angie's customs in my collection. Yeah.
Thank you, Curtis.
And you're so good at it. So it's kind of heartbreaking because you're so dang good at them.
Well, and that's the thing, you know, he and I both, that was one of the other things that connected us is because we both have an appreciation for art.
Right.
And, you know, coming into the Legions and all of this stuff for me, and I think I've told a few people this, for me, it's not about it being a toy. It's not about it being an action figure. For me, I look at it from an artistic point of view, and I appreciate all the little details. I appreciate her paint on these figures. I appreciate everything that goes into it from an artistic standpoint. And that's how I appreciate those things. So, you know, when I see a little skunk guy, you know, I see a little skunk guy and I'm like, oh, I can make this into something else and turning into something. And that's what I love.
That was from pressure from me. I really wanted her because she likes to paint, and I'm like, hey, paint one of these,
Right.
And I did, and I looked at it, and I'm like, why would I want to paint this? Like, it's already painted, it's cute, it's perfect. And he's like, just here. And I was like, ah. And I, one day I just sat there and I was looking at it, and I was like, he would be so much cuter if he had bigger, darker eyes and different features and pull out his cheeks a little bit. And he's like, well, then do it. And I'm like, well, all right. So,
I think I will.
I was like, fine. So I did, and that was the first thing that I created. And I think Jesse has
that one, yeah.
And I loved it. And I still love it. I still have another.
You've got one in the works.
I've got one in the works, but again, just finding the time to get everything out, get all my paints out, get everything set up, and just get my mind in that place.
Right.
Because anybody listening, if you're in that creative mode, then you're, to the wall, and you want to be in that zone for as long as possible, because once you get out of that zone, it's hard to get back into it.
Yeah. So the first time I went to Legion's Con was 2022, I think. And I came away and said the same thing. And I said, that was like a little art show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, all the figures, not only the customs that were done, but I mean, all the figures that the Four Horsemen put out as well. It was a little art show, and it was amazing.
That was the La Quinta show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our first Legion's Con as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
ours as well.
And the dioramas, I mean,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
yeah. I mean, it was just a little art show. So to me, I think it was an eye-opening, not only for, the figures themselves, which are amazing, but to see what the community has done with those figures and how creative and beautiful that, they have made them above and beyond.
Oh yeah. And it's interesting because you see people grow into themselves and really own their own personality through this art.
Right.
And all the customizing, you can really see people saying, look, I never fit in doing this, or I've never enjoyed doing that, or I never felt comfortable in these social situations. And now they're expressing themselves in an artistic way, and it's beautiful. And some of these things that people are coming out with and doing, and I know Brian, obviously, it's bringing something out of a human being that was suppressed for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just having this community be open to that and be so accepting and supportive, it's amazing. And I think that's been the biggest takeaway for me, is watching him and watching you guys and everybody come together and support each other.
Right.
It's beautiful.
So, art seems to have been in both of your wheelhouses. You said Angela's to paint, and Dusty, we know your art is amazing.
Thank you.
So one at a time, or stories together? How did art come into? How did you begin painting? How did you begin drawing? Where's the art come from?
For me, it was, just basically a byproduct of being poor, growing up. My mom worked in an office where she would get. Do you guys remember the old computer paper that had like the green and white lines with the perforated edges?
A little holy.
Well, my mom would bring me stacks of that paper, and I would just rip a page off. And I started out by tracing like my school folders, Garfield, stuff like that. And then I got to where I was doing it without tracing it.
Oh, wow.
And then my stepmother that lived with my father, of course, she was a painter.
Huh.
So when I would hang out with them on the weekends and stuff, I would watch her paint. Of course, I could never. I very seldom ever got to paint because, you know, paint was so expensive, and that my dad and her were very guarded with their spending and
very
stuff.
protective.
So I got to watch her paint. I did not get to participate very often in the painting because she was an oil painter. You know, she would paint big oil canvases and stuff. But she did let me, you know, eventually over time a little bit, but never enough to where I could get proficient with anything.
Right.
So basically all the way up until probably my first year of college, I basically worked with pencil, pen, and Crayola markers. You know, I've got some Spawn stuff here somewhere that I did in black ink pen and Crayola markers that I still am pretty proud of to this day.
That's awesome.
And then, you know, life gets in the way, and I got to where I'd maybe draw one drawing a year, maybe two. Usually I'd end up drawing something for somebody for a Christmas present, or, you know, something would just catch me and I would do something with it. But yeah, it got to where I was only doing like one or two pieces a year for decades, you know, and then being around the Legions community, it kind of brought that inspiration out to, I wanted to be a part of the community. I wanted to contribute to the community, and I could draw. So
look what I can do.
Look what I can do. And a lot of that's, you know, when we went to our first Legions Con, we're standing in line to go in. I'm sure everybody remembers those lines.
Yes,
and,
I do.
Right in front of me is Sean Scavarna, and right behind me is David Williams.
Oh, wow.
That's
a great place to be in line.
Cabal Creation spawned in that vestibule in between the outside doors and the inside doors of the La Quinta Inn and Suites.
That's fantastic. So, talking with those guys and talking about like drawing your like, I guess drawing in the black and white and then putting it into a coloring book, like that was Spawn there, but like, how did the Four Horsemen feel about it? Did you talk to them about it before you did it? Did you like?
Here's another example of how awesome the studio really is.
Okay.
So the idea hit me at first because I'm a black and gray artist. David Williams is a tattoo artist, so he starts out in black and gray.
Yeah.
And then Sean also likes to draw. So, you know, I had drawn a couple stuff and just kind of kept it, a couple things, and kind of kept it to myself. And then David Williams, this asshole, posts his drawing.
This is family friendly. Sorry, family.
Oh, sorry. That booty head.
Yeah, there you go.
Posts his drawing of Arethyr. And it was just a line drawing of Arethyr. And I was just like, man, that'd be an awesome coloring page. And then I was thinking about what I had stowed away. And I'm like, that'd be an awesome coloring page. So I remember reaching out to Sean and David and being like, hey, guys, the three of us ought to maybe put together like a coloring book, and then we could come to Legions Con and, you know, we could show our artwork and stuff like that. Well, David, he had already taken off. He was already doing customs, and, you know, he was already way ahead of the, and then, you know, Sean is busy.
Yeah. He
has a lot going on. So then the idea kind of hit me to like, I wonder if I could do this by myself, because I honestly didn't even think that it was a possibility for me to do that many drawings. So I was thinking the three of us could do it together and maybe we could make it happen.
Right.
So she got me a tablet and I started digital drawing, and I was doing Legion's illustrations as I was learning how to use this tablet. And I started accumulating several drawings, and I was like, man, I might actually be able to do this by myself. But I had never done anything with my art. Never. I'd never, tried to make prints or, nothing like that. So it was a very big learning curve for me, but I made it happen. She had my back, supported me, kept me going. And I found it was easy to, you're sitting there watching TV, you get bored, you're scrolling through your phone. Well, instead of picking up my phone, I was picking up my tablet and I was messing around with my drawings. Before I knew it, I had 10 drawings done, and I'm like, I could actually do this. So I just kept doing it. But that first book, I cranked out 30 drawings in what?
6 months.
6 months.
Wow.
And I had them off to the printer. And in that 6 months, I didn't just have those 30 drawings. I had like probably 35 drawings, 5 of which didn't make it into the book. Mm-hmm. And then I probably had 4 or 5 cosmic drawings done. So I probably had 40 drawings in the can. So the first book gets printed up. I take it to PowerCon. So to back up with the Horseman. So when I actually realized it was something I could probably accomplish, I reached out to Jeremy Gerard and just said, look, I went to Legion's Con. I noticed, all these painters, and this is what I do. What is your all's feelings on, like prints of your characters? If I was to draw one of your characters and make a print, could I bring it to Legion's Con? And Jeremy was just like, send me what you got. I'll spread it around the studio and get an idea. Because Jeremy told me that like Emil had reached out to him about basically the same thing, and a couple other people. So it was something they already had on their radar. So they put their heads together and they were like, yeah, we're good with it. Just, don't use our faction logos. Don't use any of the character names, stuff like that. But they were like, if you want to make a drawing of one of our characters, just don't, keep it family friendly, and if you follow these little guidelines, we're cool with it, So I just thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
But then that lit the fire under me because they were like, oh yeah, we really like this work, So my intention was to get it done for PowerCon, get a handful of them but it was for Legion's Con. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to get them in the Horseman's hands at PowerCon.
Right.
Just so they had them in advance. And, and of course I was emailing everything to Jeremy throughout, making sure everything was cool and
right.
And all that. And I just thought that was awesome. And then we get to PowerCon. We get the Horsemen a big old stack of books, just gave them to them. Hell, it's their stuff, So that was an honor for me. I just hope they liked them. I still to this day don't know how people really feel about my work, but
it's beautiful.
That night they did the what was the cosmic drop they did that night? Was it Ox Crew? I think they did the Ox Crew drop that night. And afterwards, they're signing autographs in my book.
Oh, wow.
They're putting their names in my book.
Oh, wow.
You got them getting all sassy.
And I just thought that was mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
Because I've been a fan of Four Horsemen Studios since Bendy Violator hit stores. Because I was a big Spawn fan in high school.
Right.
And to see what they were doing in the action figure world with like the Vampire from Wetworks and Bendy Violator and the Spawn figures they were doing and Mandarin Spawn. And I was just like, who are these guys? This stuff is awesome. So, fast forward years later, Cornboy, Eric Treadway, they're signing my book.
Yeah.
It kind of gave me a little validation, and that lit a fire. And I went ham for a year to do the Cosmic book. So I had triple the time to do that Cosmic book, and I put a lot more effort into that book.
Right.
And I never did it for the money. I just did it as a way of being part of the community, you know, so I never printed a lot or anything like that. And I don't want to step on any toes. So I just got my little wheelhouse, and, you know, when the inspiration hits, I make stuff happen, and them showing their support the way that they do just kept me going. And then, you know, David Williams is doing his thing, and we're bouncing stuff back and forth, and it's been a whirlwind, but it's been amazing, and it's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Tanya, will you put up? Brian had a long comment that he put up a minute ago that says, I look at it like every year. Sorry to get close to see it. That there's a class of Legion Con. After every year, there's always people that come away from the show motivated. Their names start popping up throughout the year afterwards, which that's like so
Oh
true.
yeah, hands down.
So true.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
And I think David Williams would say that's exactly what happened to him.
Yeah.
That Legion's Con show was it was mind blowing.
It opened up a huge
Yeah.
can of awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So up in the comments above, somebody said, so are we getting volume 3?
That's tough. I have started working on a volume 3, but to be honest, I've drawn 75 to 100 drawings in a year and a half. And after Legion's Con, I was pretty well burnt out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But for Christmas, I ended up doing 2 drawings. And since Christmas, I've done 2 more drawings. Do I think volume 3 will be at Legion's Con this year? Probably not, because I'll still have some copies of 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But next year, probably so.
Cool.
And it will be another Mythic book.
Awesome. So excited!
So
All right.
yes, there will be a volume 3, but it most likely will not be until 26.
It won't make it to 25.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Ange,
Yes, ma'am.
painting. When did you
Yes.
get into painting?
Since I can remember. My grandfather, the one that just passed away, he was the one that got me into drawing when I was really little. My dad, my biological father, left when I was 3, so I had no contact with him for years. But I later found out when he and I reconnected that he was also an artist.
Oh, wow.
And he loved to draw, loved to sketch. He was very artistic minded. And his occupation was actually a professional commercial painter.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't find that out until, I was in my 20s. But my grandfather, from a very early age, saw me drawing and sketching on paper. So he started to actually kind of fine tune all that with me. And he showed me how to draw, facial expressions for humans and, just basic stick figures, turning those into an actual like cartoon drawing rather than just a stick figure.
Right.
So I kind of got into that early on. Obviously Bob Ross. I mean, I was watching that every time he was on and just blown away.
Right.
And then I would go and try to imitate his paintings on anything I could get my hands on. So, I mean, I would even go to the kitchen cabinets and find different food items that I could use as paint.
Oh, wow.
And just find paper and try to copy what he was doing. Watercolors, those would always tick me off because I could never figure out the water and the
Right.
paint, everything was always runny. So I found out later in life that oil was also not my friend because I'm very impatient. So acrylic was the best way for me to go.
Right.
And I could whip something out really quickly while I'm in that zone
It wasn't expensive.
before I lose it. I
Right.
got to hurry up and get it done before I get out of the zone. And yeah, it was definitely less expensive. So that's kind of just been my thing. Art class, and I don't know. I think, didn't you say something about Marvel when you were in high school or something?
Oh yeah, I got into comic books and stuff. Yeah, I always liked drawing, but it wasn't until I got the first 2 comic books that I got that it really.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up taking all my ball cards. I'll make a long story short. I had a bunch of baseball cards that I acquired because I was a collector of baseball cards when I was a kid. And, you know, baseball, I grew out of that, became a football fan. Back then, they didn't make football cards. So I took all my cards down to the local card shop to do some trading and stuff. Well, that card shop also had like a cap that had a bunch of like what they call wall books. So it was books that were worth a little bit of money at that time. And I ended up trading all of the baseball cards and stuff I had. I mean, binders worth for 2 comic books. Spawn #1 and The Death of Superman. And the art in those books blew me away. And ever since then, I've been hooked.
Yeah.
And that brought out a whole nother inspiration for me as far as art goes.
Yeah. Yeah. We're a comic book house from way back.
And I went nuts after that. Like I was working basically a full-time job after school, and I would take the first $40 out of every paycheck down to the local comic book store and get $40 worth of comics out of my whole drawer, you know.
Yeah. I know. Trust me, I know. And the boxes that are still sitting around of all of those comics.
that was a pretty quick phase for me because it wasn't long after I graduated school. I did like 1 semester of college and couldn't afford it. I was out on my own at 18, 19, just turned 19. So my comic book buying days dried up pretty quick. But I went ham for that 2-year period.
Yeah.
And ended up with basically 3 long boxes worth of stuff.
Let's not talk about how many boxes I've got in the house. Yeah. Kevin, how many of those Death of Supermans do we have in the house? Just a question.
Of course, I don't have one sealed. I didn't get the one in the black bag.
Right.
I got the newsstand edition with the
right.
flip out.
Yeah.
So I never saw the black bag until months later.
I don't even want to know. Kevin
but
said
I did get the Return of Superman in the white bag.
Kevin said 10 or 12 of them. I don't know.
Wow.
A bunch. But
wow.
We have comics in our house. But art has always been something really that Kevin has loved as well. And it's, he's loved comics. He's been into comics since he was a kid. His aunt bought him his first comic and he's, collected them ever since. So comic for us is, it's been a part of our relationship and a part of who we are for years. I've spent more hours on a comic book show floor than I can even count.
There are worse things to do.
Yeah, walking around behind him, meeting we've done some amazing things together, in that time, and I wouldn't trade a minute that I was there. But I've spent a lot of time in comic book stores and comic book show floors and looking at comics and talking about comics, and it's been, I wouldn't trade a minute of it. But it's a lot. We have a lot. So, Ange, you, other than the customs that you have done, what other type of art or whatever were you painting that were not customs previously?
So for whatever reason, I've always loved outdoor landscape and stuff like that. But then a friend of mine asked me to for his birthday, it was a coworker. He was really into like David Bowie, and he asked me if I would, because he had seen another painting that I did. He asked me if I would do a David Bowie painting, and I was like, absolutely not. And so he begged and begged, and he said, look, he said, even if it's terrible, then make it even more terrible just so we can laugh at it. And I said, okay, I can do that. So I did it, and it actually turned out pretty darn good. And he said, this is the most amazing thing I have ever seen. And that kind of inspired me. And then the next thing I know, and I'll never forget this, Prince died. And when Prince died, I don't know what it was. Something got into me. I said, you know what? I want to do a Prince painting. So I sat up one night really late, watching old Prince videos, listening to songs and all that stuff. And I did this painting, and everybody just thought it was the greatest thing. I didn't. I just thought it was kind of cheesy. But everybody else was like, that's actually really cool. Can you make one for me? And I said, absolutely not. So, and then the next thing I know, I did a Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday. I started kind of getting into old jazz singers and things like that. And the next thing I know, I'm painting people, and I can't paint people. I can't even draw people. You know, the nose is off, the eyes are different sizes. But for some reason, when I paint with music, it just comes together.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I like to do landscape stuff, and now all of a sudden I got these little action figures that I've been painting, and that's been fun too.
I actually
In the house, I've painted our entire house.
for MuskeCon this year. I'm bringing 4 of my original drawings I did around 2000 when Lord of the Rings. So 2000, 2004. I have a friend of mine, my best friend, huge Lord of the Rings fan. And he was always on me, dude, you need to draw something for me. You need to draw something for me. So for like 3 years in a row, I would draw him Lord of the Rings inspired drawings for like Christmas or his birthday or something like that. And he's a barber, and he would hang them in his barber shop. And he had these drawings hanging in his barber shop for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And recently took them down. He remodeled the barbershop, changed the decor, and all those drawings have been kind of sitting there. They're out where people can see them, but they've been sitting on the floor, you know, kind of off in a corner, because he loves talking about them and bragging about them and stuff. So I mentioned to him, I was like, hey, man, you know, those are just sitting there. What would you think if I took those to one of the shows to show them off? Because I'm kind of proud of them. And he was like, absolutely, take them. You know, he's like, if you want to sell them, you know, if you can sell them, great, whatever. So I actually picked them up today, and I'll show you.
Oh, yeah.
Something I'll have
I'll take it back.
in stock at LegionsCon, or on the table at LegionsCon. Here's one.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So she was talking about landscape, and then I'll show you this one.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So this is what I grew up, you know, just basically taking pencil to paper, and so this was in my wheelhouse. There's another one.
Oh, that's
Clouds. In the castle.
Yeah.
And these are all professionally framed and mounted and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll be bringing these with me to there's her prints.
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
God, you was able to reach that?
No, I had to stand on a chair.
Oh, okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she does a pretty good job. considering she had never attempted something like that, that was like her first attempt.
Yeah.
You're making me want to sing Purple Rain.
I know. Oh,
You should
that's cool.
always want to sing Purple Rain.
That looks so good.
Yeah, so those will be at the table if you want to swing by and check them out. I'm pretty proud of those. Those are some of my favorite things I've done.
And you should be pretty proud of those. Those are pretty amazing.
That's how we differ too. So he's black and white, real detailed, small things, and I am like the big,
Colorful.
no details, colorful. You know.
So like on this one, you're just not going to see. Like there's little cabins hidden in here.
Oh, that's
with
cool.
Smoke coming out of the chimney, and there's Gandalf on his horse over here.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. I haven't drawn anything on paper. I've drawn one drawing on paper since you bought me the tablet, and Anthony Halseal has that.
Oh, wow. So, Mark said, would love to see a Figure Obscura book from you.
Ooh.
I have a couple Figure Obscura drawings done. They're on our Instagram. I just posted about MuskeCon today. There's like 15 pictures in there. You can scroll through. You'll see a couple Figura drawings that I've done for a potential coloring book someday, and a couple of the new most recent Mythic drawings I've done on our Instagram.
Jeff said, best 2 comic books of the 90s. I'll go to the grave on that. Oh, that's cool. And then Brian said, Ange could do landscapes of Mythos and sell prints at shows.
Ooh. That would be cool.
Castle of Four Sides.
Yeah.
That's
Jeff said,
been on my to-do list.
I second that.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah. That might
And
be
then-
something. Maybe we could collab.
Ange
call
has
it
the best snacks too.
Ange does
I
have
do
the
have
best
the
snack.
best snacks.
Yeah.
She always make sure that you are not hungry.
Yes, you guys just wait till next weekend.
She will mom the crap out of everybody at a show.
You gotta take care of everybody. Gotta
She's
stay hydrated.
she's the official stepmother of the Euro Legions podcast.
I don't want to be the stepmother.
Yeah, you're the good stepmother.
Yeah.
Are there good stepmothers?
Jimmy
have
said,
one.
awesome work.
Yeah, I'm a
So-
stepmother, so I say yes. There are.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
true. I am too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
I got blessed with an awesome stepmom and an awesome stepdad.
Yes, you did.
MuskeCon. We've got a few more minutes, and I kind of want to talk about MuskeCon. I want to do this real quick. I don't know what's in what book. I just grabbed some pictures. Of course, these are the 2 coloring books.
Yep.
Grab them. He'll have them at MuskeCon.
Yes, I will.
But I mean, the artwork is beautiful.
Oh, there's one of my Figura.
Yeah.
There's the other one.
That is a great picture.
Mm-hmm.
The one that started it all. That was the first one I did.
Was it really? That's awesome. So fantastic. Like, I love.
Thank you.
It's like looking at a memory album. It's
Yeah.
like it was so long
Yeah.
ago.
That the one of Ziri on the speeder bike has some shout outs. I drew that right after my mom passed.
Yeah.
So it has like some tributes to my mom in it.
So this caught my attention. So Crow has a new figure that's getting ready to come out, and of course Kevin has the Crow comic books and watched Crow and has been a fan of the comics and seeing the new figure. And when I saw this, I wanted to pull this out because this is amazing. Like, this is freaking amazing.
Yeah, that's probably one of my probably all-time favorite
Oh yeah.
of anything I've ever done. Now there is one weird, I don't know how it happened, but I forgot to erase like this little gimmick finger. So if you were able to zoom in on his, what would be his left hand, there's like this weird finger in there that I need to fix because I messed up and I didn't cover it up completely. I don't know what happened. So it's like this little ghost weird finger in his hand. And it's like, it freaks me out every time I see it. I'm like, what the hell happened there?
So if you had not have said that, nobody would have known.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know until you said
that's
something.
amazing.
Yeah.
See, it's like when they go and fix something else, like that they mint a coin or something.
Yeah.
Like if you find the one with the flaw,
With the
hey!
flaw, yeah. So Nate Strong said he's going to be at MuskeCon. Yay, Nate!
Hey!
See ya!
If you can't have Trevor, I guess Nate'll do.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. Kevin said it's AI. That extra finger.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when you look at AI pictures, everybody has an extra finger put in there somewhere.
I don't
If they're
look at
doing
the-
people, it's all there's always an extra finger for whatever reason.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So MuskeCon, you guys are going to set up and have a table.
Yep.
Awesome. And Friday night is the
Mythic Meetup.
Mythic Meetup.
Midwest
pretzels.
Mythic Meetup in Muskegon, Michigan.
There's a lot of in there.
This sounds really dirty.
Well, it's put on by my wife's by Pete. My wife's gonna
Right.
Yeah.
William asked, was that pen and ink, and what's the medium that you like the most? I know that you've said that you've done it all and now you're doing tablet, but if you have your choice, do you like pencil, pen? What do you like most?
I'd say when I went to college, the intent was to become an inker. I we did a project in art class in high school where we used India ink and quill pens and did calligraphy and stuff like that. And I love it. I love inking.
He likes clean, bold, crisp lines and things. And I think that, the comics book thing.
That
So
kind of served me
he
well.
likes that very uniform look.
Right.
He because that's how his mind is. He likes everything to be neat and tidy and clean.
I like contrast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that very bold contrast.
So yeah, I love just dipping a pen in an ink, and doing some stuff. But it's not something I do very often. Probably not something I will ever do very often. Now that I have this tablet, if I can figure out how to master that thing, because I'm still learning. I don't know half the stuff that's on there.
If we lose power for a week, probably.
Yeah, it would take something weird like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Snowstorm.
I gotcha. Hey Lewis, how are you? So, all right, MuskeCon. What are you bringing to MuskeCon? I know you said you'll have some of each of the coloring books. What else are you bringing to MuskeCon?
I'm bringing those framed original drawings.
Right.
I will bring volume 1 and 2 of the coloring book. We'll have our T-shirt that Stacy so awesomely modeled for us in 3D.
Yes, in 3D.
It's in 3D. Looks like it's coming right at you. And we'll have some of our leftover magnets. We got a handful of magnets left, and we'll have free stickers. And I will have.
And there's some random fun finds too that.
Yeah, we'll have some mythic figures, stuff that I've decided not to part with. And we will. I have a custom sitting here that's built but not painted. Probably won't get painted in a week. So the idea was to have a couple customs, but that's probably not going to happen, unfortunately.
It could.
But yeah, I mean it's a one-day show, so
Right.
we're not going to go crazy.
Right.
So we'll have both coloring books. I'll have some original stuff for people to check out, and if they want to buy, great. If not, hopefully it'll draw some eyes toward the table. and we'll have some figures to sell. We're going to try to keep it Legions based because
Yeah.
Pete kind of wants that whole row to be Legions based. So,
Right.
so that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I, for one, cannot wait to see you guys.
Oh, it's going to be so
Yeah,
fun.
I think that's kind of the mentality right now is like this is more just about kind of seeing everybody
Yeah.
and then seeing what else is there for us to kind of look at and see what we might want to purchase and
Right.
just the fellowship of everybody and just kind of having that break in the year,
Yeah.
and seeing everyone.
It's Legions Con without the chaos, so you get to see everybody. It's more intimate. The dinner parties, they might end up 20 people, but
the pressure is off.
there's no pressure, there's no chaos.
Lots of laughing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could take something as simple as marinara for a cheese stick and just
Artesian.
Well, I think a lot of
it's
us were
marinara.
I think when the
Marinara.
delirium sets in, and everything's funny,
Curtis said, I'm doing some finger painting for a MuskeCon project right now.
Aw.
Nice. Curtis is kind of weird, so he's literally taking fingers and gluing them.
So, are you guys doing any other cons except for MuskeCon and Legions Con this year? Either going to hang out or just going to set up and sell, or are you guys doing anything other than
I wish the answer was yes, but the answer is no. We can't miss MuskeCon. We can't miss Legions Con. Those are going to be, as long as they're having those shows, we're going to do everything we can to get there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But this year we have to go to a graduation, high school graduation in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be our summer trip.
Mm-hmm.
And then her daughter starts college, so we'll have that going on. So we got a lot going on this year, but we are definitely going to start the spring out right and start the fall out right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I cannot wait to see you guys. Now
It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
I know. We got to see everybody else too. I think it's just going to be good to see everybody and get back in that groove and reconnect. And I'll get my blueberry pie.
Yeah.
Maybe.
he told us
Like
about
you
the
this
blueberry
time.
pie before you came home.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he tell you that he stole it?
Yes,
he
said
ate
that you had
everything
one
but
piece.
one piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he
That was
told us.
enough.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It starts off at this little stand off the side of the road where everything's built on trust. Apparently, Michigan people are very trusting. And so it's very precious. It's this little stand, a little refrigerator, a little money box. You take your pie, you put the money in the box, you get in your car, and you leave. Perfect.
And then your husband eats all the pie.
And I'm like, okay, this whole thing is built on trust. And I can't trust you to leave me one piece.
You got one piece.
I'm about to give you a piece.
Right?
So I'm going to be getting 2 pies this year.
And tell him to keep his grubby hands off yours.
Yes, that's right.
Dusty can't have pie anymore.
Dusty can.
Oh. Okay. We've got the dragon from Four Horsemen. It's coming. We're in the middle of
Gonna
getting
happen. Make it happen, people. Go get it.
Having people, let's do dragon. And that was something that everybody waited 10 years to get. What do you want to be the culmination of the next 10 years? Like if you had to think of something that the Four Horsemen could do.
Oh, that's easy answer for me. Easy, but I hope it doesn't take 10 years.
Okay.
I want a corn boy designed Treadaway, thank you. Treadaway sculpted mech suit for Cosmic Legions. I want to take a Cosmic Legion and put it in a big old mech suit with all kinds of different loadouts weapons packs and stuff. Please, CB, make that happen. You like mech suits, CB. You like them. Make your own. Please.
I want baby dragons.
Oh yeah, that'd be cute.
That would be cool.
Lame.
No, it's not lame. Where do you
Lame.
think they come from? They don't just pop out full grown.
Yes, they do.
I need a baby dragon. I want a baby dragon, and then I want to see more transportation devices
Yes.
for the figures.
Yeah.
They already made horses. Those are the only transportation devices.
No.
Spaceships,
or that
Boats.
tram
boats,
but
yeah.
something that they had in Cosmic Legions, that big old car truck thing that they had.
Tram thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Jake, this dragon, go order it.
I want to see a General Lee for my dragon. There you go.
Jake, go get the dragon. This
It
dragon.
would be an actual General Lee.
It would be a Power Wheels. I have to get a Power
50
Wheels for my
points of
dragon.
articulation. Go get it. All right, sorry. What dragon?
What
Come on,
dragon?
people. What dragon?
There. I'm gonna get a Power Wheels and paint it like the General Lee. Put the dragon.
I think that would
There
be
you go.
awesome.
Yeah.
You're not putting the dragon in a Power Wheels.
It's
Jake said,
not a
"Okey
stroller.
dokey."
It's a Power Wheels.
JakeStoreHorseman.com. 50 points of articulation. Go
Yeah.
get one.
50.
50 points of articulation.
38 pounds of plastic.
Go get one. It is neat. It is awesome. Okay. Last question, and then we're going to close it out for tonight. You guys are going to... I have 4 pages of questions.
Oh,
We got
wow.
to maybe 12 of them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. I had the best night. This was fan-freaking-tastic. So that
Yeah.
just means you're going to have to come back on the show again.
Your
Yay.
stories are fun.
Yeah. This has been the best. I've laughed. I've loved. It has been a great night. I'm so glad that you guys came on. Last question. What is one thing that you can tell us that you haven't told anybody else?
What?
What?
What is one thing that you can tell us now here that you haven't told anybody else?
I'm pregnant?
What? No.
With a dragon.
No.
I'm pregnant with a baby dragon. Oh,
The
Lord.
baby dragon's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Ah. That's more like an April Fool's prank.
It's not.
Not at our age, it ain't.
But you about gave him a heart attack.
Yeah. Again.
And on that note, good night.
He just peed his pants.
Yeah, that's what I can tell you guys, but nobody else.
Oh my gosh! What a great way to end the show.
I got nothing. We're pretty open about things. That's the crazy
Apparently.
part on it.
If I'd have been a smart man, I'd have been like, whose is it?
You were there.
Travis? Damn you. Foiled again.
Well, then that would have meant everybody was there.
Oh, great day. Gosh, my
No,
cheeks
what
are
can I
killing.
tell you that I couldn't tell anybody else?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. To be serious, what could it be? I secretly do not collect mythic legions. Well,
I
no,
see the things
that would be a
behind.
lie. That would be a lie.
Mm.
I will not buy another toy line.
Well, there you go.
Mm.
I will not be buying anything from any more toy lines.
Yeah.
It's
He's pretty settled.
I'm pretty well done with my Transformers. I'm content. So it's probably Legions for me from here on out.
It's a Legion's life, baby.
Yep.
I love it. All right. Well, we are going to say goodnight. Thank you guys again for coming on the show. Stacy, thank you for hanging in there with
Sitting
me.
up there in the corner, not contributing.
Did
You guys
too.
talk way too much. I didn't
She's
want to
gonna
cut you
beat
off.
you down next weekend.
Yeah, just wait till I see you, Dusty. I might be
You
small,
realize
but
we're
I am
probably gonna be
mighty.
neighbors again.
You ain't scared of me. Oh wait, I said that wrong. I ain't scared of you.
Oh my goodness. We will see you guys in just over a week.
Yeah.
Yay!
A week from tomorrow.
Yeah.
A week
we
from
come up,
tomorrow.
we get up there late Thursday.
So we'll be up sometime Friday before the Mythic meetup.
Awesome.
So we
We'll
will
be up
see you guys
Friday
then.
afternoon.
Yes,
We'll
and
be
anybody
early.
else coming, everybody please drive and fly safe.
Come
Yeah.
to MuskeCon. You won't regret it.
Yes. If you are within like an 8 to 10 hour drive, just make the drive.
Just do it.
Yeah, you can sleep on our floor. It's fine.
Or 12, 14 hours. Well,
Yeah.
whatever. No big deal.
No big deal.
It's a good spring break trip.
You won't regret
That's
it.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will see you guys later. Thank you again for so much. Thank you all for joining in the chat. We have had a lot of fun, and we hope that you have learned a lot more about Dusty and Ang and are looking forward to seeing them, if not at MuskeCon, then at Legion's Con this year. And Jeremy, when do we get all the details? Waiting on the rooms to open up.
Right.
Fill it.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. And we will see you guys all later. Good night.
Good night,
Have
everybody.
a great one.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye.